Happy Monday, mommies. Today we are joined by Dorsina Sangster, gangster only with an S. She is wife to William and the mother of 4. Let's go
Yes.
through. We have Genevieve, Daphne, Sebastian, and we also have Julian.
Yes.
So, hello, Dorsina.
Hello, Ariane. How are you?
I am doing well. Thank you for asking. So that was a mouthful.
Yes.
So let's just jump right into it. Tell me how your journey to motherhood began.
It's been an interesting one, I will say. I got pregnant with my first child in 2015, going into 16, and that's Genevieve. She's 4 years old. It was kind of a tough pregnancy. I have hyperemesis as a history. So I lost 16 pounds with her right off the bat. I had an emergency room visit with her. After all that subsided, the pregnancy kind of was normal, I would say. I worked a full day, went home, had labor pains, went in the hospital, got my epidural. Don't play with that. She was delivered in 10 minutes with a few pushes. So that was great. She was a full-term baby. So that was a perfect pregnancy, I guess, apart from the hyperemesis. And then in 2019, January 2019, I found out I was pregnant. And between that time, we had tried to get pregnant for a full year. So we had some infertility issues, unknown source, because I had a healthy baby prior to that. So we didn't understand why we were having a difficulty getting pregnant the second time. So I did use Clomid, which is a fertility drug. I did 3 cycles of that. And then my last cycle in January, I got pregnant. The doctor said, come in for a routine visit and let's check if it's a normal pregnancy. So I went for an ultrasound and then they told me it was triplets. So then I told her to shut up because she was lying. And then she showed me the ultrasound and it was indeed triplets, but it was about 6 weeks at that time. It was very early. So I went home and told my husband and he denied it. He said, I see 2 babies. I don't see 3. You're lying. I said, babe, there's 3 babies there.
Now to clarify, your husband is a surgeon, correct?
He is a physician. He's a surgeon, yes. So he should know better. But I think he was in shock and in denial and just internally freaking out, but he will never say it or show it. So they were triplets, but they told us, initially that sometimes you can lose one of the babies or you can lose some of the babies. So we kind of kept it to ourselves till we were about 3 months before we told family. And it was the same difficulty with hyperemesis. I lost 18 pounds with them, vomiting, and then I actually had to get IV infusions once weekly and then twice weekly because I was so sick that I could barely even walk to get my infusions. And then I did 2 months of IV infusions before I recovered. I took a lot of medication just to try to drink water. So it was a very, very tough pregnancy. But after that subsided, I guess it was a healthy pregnancy. I didn't have any blood pressure issues or sugar issues or anything like that. I was just kind of going through the motions with a little bit of being nervous because there are 3 of them. So just hoping that they're all healthy and, they don't come early. So they did twice weekly scans and then once weekly scans. And then I went for a routine scan on a Friday. And then Daphne was not growing. So they told me I was getting admitted for my delivery.
Gotcha.
So I was admitted on a Friday and I had a C-section on a Monday.
All right. And with that, when they told you that you were having triplets, did they automatically say, hey, we're going to schedule you for a C-section or?
Yeah, there was no option for a vaginal delivery. That was not even discussed and I knew that was not going to happen.
Got you. Because before you had your triplets, you were a nurse practitioner, correct?
Yes. Yes, I will say I am a nurse practitioner
Yes,
because
you
I
are.
want to maintain that identity of mine. So yes, I'm a neonatal nurse practitioner, actually, to be precise. So I had experience taking care of other people's babies in the NICU, and then I had my own triplets who ended up in the NICU. So God
So,
is funny.
so with that, like, how was that being working with babies who were in the NICU and then like having to have your babies go to the NICU?
It was actually wasn't that difficult because in that moment I chose to be mom. So I was not a nurse practitioner when I went to visit them. I was just mom. My whole focus was to take care of them and do whatever I could to get them home. It wasn't as nerve-wracking for me because I knew what they needed to do to get home.
Mm-hmm.
So to be to to be in that role was not scary for me, but it made me understand a little bit more how parents could be scared being in that situation. So I think overall it was an experience that's going to make me a better nurse practitioner. The nurses there became my friends. So they actually wanted me to work there with them after the babies went home. I didn't try to undermine the doctors or the the nurses' decisions or anything like that. I was just mom. I mean, if there was something to question, I would question it, but I was mom in that moment. I was not a nurse practitioner. In the delivery room, I was a nurse practitioner because Daphne came out first, and then the boys came out, and then I didn't hear her cry. So then I was like, why is she not crying? There's something wrong. You need to tell me. So I'm like telling William, you better go check on her and tell me what they're doing. She's not breathing. Something is wrong. And she actually ended up needing some respiratory support. But I switched very quickly into being a nurse practitioner.
You knew which hat to wear.
And then back to mommy right there. Yeah. So.
See, there you go. So the myth of nurses and doctors are the worst patients just depends on the person.
I think it depends on the person. My husband is a horrible patient. He never thinks anything is wrong. I say, go see a doctor. He's like, I am a doctor. Everything is fine. But me, I am a neonatal nurse practitioner. So if there's something wrong with me, I need an adult doctor to tell me what's going on. So I'm still willing to see a doctor and kind of, be that patient when I need to be a patient. So I think maybe doctors have a different perspective than nurses. We're the
Mhm.
nurturing, caring kind of healthcare physicians. Doctors, I don't.
Yeah.
That's
So
not for all doctors. That's just for my doctor.
speaking for you personally,
Just me personally, and with my William. Yeah.
I got you. Now I know that with the triplets you breastfed. So how was that? Like, are they on different breastfeeding schedules or are they on like the same schedule?
So from being in the NICU, the goal was to have them on a schedule. That was priority. The way to survive in triplets is to have a schedule. So they were on an every 3-hour schedule. The boys were on a same schedule, and Daphne was an hour behind. So if the boys woke up, I will feed both boys at the same time. And if I had time in between, I could feed Daphne also. But I will do rotate. I will feed 2 at one time. The third will get a bottle, and then rotate and do another 2, and then another one will get a bottle. And then sometimes I'll just take a break and pump and have someone feed all 3 of them. So I did what I could. I breastfed for about 6 months.
Mhm.
Um, and then they stopped. So it was fine with me when they stopped. But I didn't try to be super mom. I didn't try to be a superhero. I didn't have idea that I was going to try to do it all. Formula works fine. So I was willing to use that as well.
Nice. Now, you had Genevieve before you had your triplets, correct?
Yes. Yes.
And of course, the first baby gets all the attention and all the love. They don't have to share it with anyone.
Yeah.
So, how was that transition for Genevieve? Like, how is she now that she has 3 brothers?
Um, it's It's a day by day situation. So some days she is big sister. She's all about them. She wants to change them. She wants to feed them. Sometimes she's more of a mom. She's trying to like get in the role. And I'm like, I'm mommy. She's like, well, I'm big sister. I'm like, okay, let's compromise here. But we had her involved from beginning. She went to the hospital with us. Whatever she could do, I let her do. So we had her involved from very beginning, kind of caring and having a role in the baby's lives. So yeah, some days she's good. She wants to be all about the babies. And some days they pull her hair and she doesn't like it. Or they take her earring off and she hates it. Or they want to play with her cell phone and she does not a real cell phone, a toy
Right,
phone.
right.
And and she's not about it. So that's siblings, you know. And I try to take those opportunities to make it a learning experience. You know, you have to share, and you know, the babies, they don't know what they're doing. They're babies. So I think day by day, we're all learning and trying to adjust and figure this life that we've been thrown into.
Well, you do it so well.
Thank you. I don't know about that. Catching me on a good day.
Now, I want to go back. You said, because I said that you were a nurse practitioner and you corrected me and said that you still are because you want to maintain that identity. How important is it for you to have that identity, to have that, you know, your mom, but you're also a nurse practitioner. You're also Dorsina. Tell me, like, how important that is for you to maintain your own identity.
Yeah, I would say that that's a conversation that's been coming up a lot for us within the past few months, trying to figure out how I can go back to work and just maintain being a nurse practitioner. I was a nurse practitioner before all of this. And I think that's what made me be a good mom at home. When I had something that fulfilled me outside of the home, I came home 100% and wanted to give to my family. So I feel like that's a big part of me that I want to keep. I worked really hard to go to school to become a nurse practitioner, and I love what I do. I love caring for other people's kids and making sure they're healthy and well and going home with their parents.
Right.
That's a big part of me. I had someone do that for me with my babies, and that was invaluable. So if I can play that role in someone's life, that's what I want to do. So far, we haven't figured out quite how I'm going to include that in my life. Priority is family always. So priority is making sure the babies are cared for. And in my head, I'm like, no one can take care of them as best as I can. But in the long run, I'm gonna have to let someone else help me and jump in, so I can have that part of me of having an adult conversation or using the other part of my brain that's not mommy brain or wife brain. That's like, you know, critical thinking brain. So
Mm-hmm.
um, we'll see how that works out. But that's very, very important to me. I need to return back to work at some point when it's convenient for everybody. So
Right. And I think that goes for everyone. When you find something that's fulfilling for yourself, you're able to be a better person to other people. So I think
absolutely.
that is great advice just for anyone. Um,
Yeah.
Now, with this, of course, having, you know, your own identity, of course, you need some you time. You need some significant other time. How is it? You know, you said schedule is important with triplets. And so
Yes.
how do you work that into your days or into your weeks or months?
Really, right now, there's no me time because they're just needing. I mean, even when they take a nap, it's like then it's Genevieve's turn.
Hmm.
Because of COVID, it's changed. When she was in school, when they took a nap, I could take a nap myself or have a cup of tea without someone calling me, mommy, come play with me. So right now it's difficult because she's also home. So when they sleep, then like, mommy, come play with me. Then it's her time. So there's no me time right now, but I think that I will want to get back to, I had just signed up for the gym too before COVID started. So I would want to get back to working out and getting in shape because I want to be a healthy mom. I want to be the one that runs around with them outside and plays soccer with them, or, you know, just not be a mom that's on the couch. So that was going to be my mommy time until everything shut down. So eventually I would like to get back to that with couple time. The babies are all sleeping if all goes well by 10 o'clock. So what William and I do, we're homebodies. We don't really, are out a lot or anything like that. But we like Netflix and we like Prime Video. So when the babies are sleeping, we find something to binge watch and we watch it together and laugh about it. And then we go to bed at 11:30 because he has to go to work.
Yeah.
So usually when the babies are asleep, we take that little hour or hour and a half that we have to clean up together or whatever we have to do together. And then he comes to bed and then it starts all over. So we take those moments when we can.
It's the simple things that.
Yeah. You don't need to go to a fancy restaurant or go to the Bahamas or anything like that. And we both love to laugh. So any time spent together is like priceless.
I would have to agree. Now I do want to get into, like, is there any advice that you would give to mothers of multiples or mothers who are trying to figure out how to transition from one child, from the oldest child to having the next child? Or
I would say accept help when it's offered and also ask for help. There's nothing wrong with it. Ask for help, find other moms with multiples if you can. I just found a group here, moms with multiples, and we were meeting on Thursdays once a month. And again, COVID just ruined everything. And that was like my escape to be with other moms and talk about our kids and our husbands. And eventually, hopefully, we'll get back to it. But, accept family help, accept friends help. If someone offers to bring you dinner, say yes. There's nothing wrong with it. I would say to involve your kids as much as you can, to try to make the older child feel included. Try to get them to bond as much as possible in the beginning. And don't make her or him or her feel like she's not or he's not no longer important. The baby's here. So baby's here. So, you have to stay on that side. I try to get, Genevieve helps me change diapers. Genevieve helps me change their clothes. She helps me with bath time. And sometimes it's not fun. Sometimes it's annoying and it gets in the way because you're trying to get it done. But you want her to feel included. You want him to feel included and not left out. So whatever you can have them do, just let them do it.
Awesome. That is amazing. So, Dorsina.
Yes.
I am going to be asking you from now on different advice since you are a nurse practitioner. So, for mommies who are out there, if you have any questions about your pregnancy or anything that's not something that you need to go and see the doctor right away for emergencies, but something that you can wait on an answer, feel free to reach out to us and we will have Dorsina give some educated answers.
I would do my best, I promise. And if I don't know, I will find the answer for you. I am not afraid to say, I don't know, give me a minute, let me get an answer for you.
So thank you so much, Dorsina. You've led us into your life and you allowed us to take you away from your beautiful children. Oh, bless you, Micah.
Bless you.
Everyone, we just want to say thank you for joining us and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Hello, mommies. I hope you enjoyed today's interview. Make sure you share and subscribe and click that bell at the top. We'll see you next Monday. Say bye, Micah.